Today I'm going to show you what it costs as a tourist to come to Bali. Now this will cover basic costs like your visa, your accommodation, phone, motorbike, and basic things like food, alcohol, and you're going to need to spend here while you're on holidays in Bali. Now as a tourist you'll need a visa. Now you can apply online for a visa or even a 2-month 60-day visa. You can apply for online for that. You come and you can just walk straight through to customs or sign up before you hit customs in Bali airport and pay. It's about 500,000 rupee, it's about $50 Australian or about $35 US for your visa before you enter the country. Once you got your visa, you've got to fill out your embarkation card online. You've got to do it, scan a code after you go through customs, and then you're in Bali. Well, the first thing you're going to need is money. Now, I recommend bringing in cash because cash is always the best way to travel. Every time you use your credit card or your debit card, you're going to be hitting with transfer fees into Indonesian dollars and ATM fees, which you can only get about 250 to 3 million maximum, $200 to $300 out of an ATM at a time. So it's better to bring cash your money at a trusted money exchange. Now there's two main money exchanges that are trustworthy here, and that's Central Money Exchange and the BMC Money Exchanges. There's a few of them around. They're trustworthy. They'll never rip you off. Stay away from the scams and the small money changes. They're going to get you one way or another. So the best thing to do is download the XE app, and it gives you the currency exchange for all the currencies in the world. Now most of them take about 5% as their commission, so you can't get away from that one way or another. So XE is a good way to see the real price of the Indonesian dollar to your country at the time. Now accommodation. You can stay in a fairly decent hotel these days from anything from $25 to $35 Australian, probably about $20 US, $25 US a night, or you can go anywhere right up to like thousands of dollars for villas and with private villas with swimming pools and whatever. A villa with a pool will probably cost you an average around $100 a night, and a hotel, depending how close to the beach you are, if you're on the beach you're going to be paying probably 800,000 to $1 million for anything these days, which is like $70 to $100 Australian. Okay, so transport. Now there's a few apps you need for transport, and the best thing you can do is download the Grab app, the Gojek app, the Shopee app, and stay away from taxis. I recommend stay away from it. If you can get one that'll put the meter on, no problem, but most of them don't. They overcharge you, and if you go with the Grab app or Gojek, motorbike taxis or car, it is probably a third of the price as a taxi. So make sure you download those apps. The Grab and the Gojek are the two main ones here. So food. Now food you can eat. What I do, I eat where the locals eat, because if there's a lot of locals eating there, you know it's good food. And I probably paid an average $2 to $4 for a meal. But if you eat in restaurants, you're looking at least $8 to $15 every time you eat. And it's way more expensive. And don't be scared of the little carts on the side of the road and the local little food markets and stuff. They're cooking right in front of you, and they're probably better and cleaner than half the kitchens in the restaurants. So don't be afraid to try the local food, and it is extremely cheap. Okay, so transport. Now if you have an international driver's license, or you can go into Denpasar and do a 1-month tourist license. Now this will probably cost you, they can fast track you through for a little bit extra, and it'll probably cost you about $50 to get a license. Otherwise, I recommend you get your international driver's license before you leave your own country. When you get here, you're safe. Now you can easily ride around here without a license or anything like that. Half the tourists do. But if you have an accident and you hurt someone, you kill someone, or you have an accident, your insurance company will not cover you unless you have a valid license. So take that under consideration. Now a motorbike will cost you anything from $5 to $20 a day, depending on what type of bike and how big the bike is. So you can get monthly bikes, which you can probably get from anything from $500,000, $50 to $100 a month. Sometimes it's cheaper to take a month, even though you're only here for 2 weeks. instead of paying daily. So look around for motorbikes and make sure they're good, make sure they've got good brakes, and make sure they're registered. Now you can rent cars here, but it's becoming quite slim places to find that actually rent a car to you these days. So most people just get a tour driver. Now for about 800,000, about $80 a day, they will take you all day for about 8 hours anywhere you want to go. They'll wait for you, and this is a great option. It not only helps the locals out with some work and some business, but they know the areas, they know how to communicate with the locals, and this will be your best option if you want to go and see waterfalls and rice paddies and the volcanoes and all sorts of things. Get a car tour for the day. It's a good trip. Now my advice to you as a tourist, don't do what a lot of people do. They come here, they find a nice bar and they sit there for their whole holiday in a bar just getting drunk. And it's really just a waste of time. You may as well do that at home and not even bother coming. There's heaps to see here on this island. Get out of South Bali. Get away from Kuta, Legian, Canggu and Denpasar. Get on a bike or get a tour driver and head up north. Head up to Singaraja, head out to Ahmed, head up to Gilimanuk Way, up to Balian. And there's some beautiful places to see. And actually do something while you're here. I see too many people just wasting time sitting around in bars and restaurants and drinking, and then on the beach drinking. So it's all right to have a drink, just drink in moderation, don't drink and drive, and have a good time when you're here and see a few things, or else really your holidays are just a big waste of time. Now telephone, it's very cheap here to get a SIM card. So when you're here, you may as well have data for your internet on your phone at all times in case you want to use Google Maps, something like that, and know exactly where you are. Now don't bother buying a SIM card at the airport, they're too expensive. There's phone shops everywhere, there's probably 5 on every street. So go to a phone shop, buy yourself a SIM card. It might cost you $10 with 15 gigabytes of data, and that's enough for your holiday. It's cheap compared to your own home country. Get it and you've always got it. It's good security, and like I said, you've got all your apps, which you'll be using apps here while you're here. Apps, and you've got Google Maps and things like that. So it is a necessity to get yourself a SIM card so you've always got some data on your phone. So what I'd say as a tourist, the money you'd need here, I suppose, if you prepaid your accommodation, you're right, you only need spending money. But what I do when I travel, I only ever book the first or second night, and that's it. Then I look around. If it's good, I'll stay there in the same place. If it's not, I'll move around. Now, this is a small island and there's some good places to stay. I don't recommend booking your whole holiday in one spot. Maybe a few nights in Kuta, a few nights in Canggu, a few nights in Ubud, a few nights in Ahmed, a few nights in Lavina, and you can move around freely this way. Spending money. Well, that all depends on how much you party and how much you drink. If you're just going to eat, you can quite comfortably eat for really good food at restaurants all the time for $50 a day. Great. But also you can live on for $10 a day if you eat where the locals are, at the local food markets and things like that. As soon as you get out of the tourist areas, just even a couple of kilometres, there's little warungs everywhere, and the food is excellent and it's really cheap. You're looking at $2 to $3 a meal max everywhere. Now, for expenses, everyone likes shopping while you're here and buying a few T-shirts and a few souvenirs and things like that. Now make sure, if they say it's 100,000, it's probably only 30 or 40,000. So make sure it's normal here to have a bit of a bargain, and sometimes it's fun to bargain and sometimes it becomes really annoying. So check out a few different places. Make sure you tell people, I'm just looking, or they seem to get a little bit agitated if you hang around, bargain with them and then walk away. So you don't have to buy everything in the first couple of days you're here. Over your holiday, slowly as you see things and get to know the prices of things, then buy it. So I'd say with food and, maybe buying a few little things and hanging out down the beach for sunset and having a few drinks that night, if you bring $100 spending money per day, that should be more than enough. And then your accommodation, basically it's around $50, to a really good place, $100. So for $200 a day, if you're coming here for a week, costs you $1,400, $1,500. Now you've saved up all year to come on this holiday. Your air tickets are expensive, and $1,500 isn't much for a good holiday, a little bit of luxury, and make sure you have some fun. Now if you want to budget and backpack and budget, and you're on a budget, you can live here for as cheap as $20 a day. There's hostels around, there's some really cheap hostels where you'll get for like $10 to $15 a night, and you can eat, if you're just going to eat, basically eat and drink for another $15. So you're looking at, you know, $25 to $30 a day, I'd say Australian, probably at minimum $20 US a day, and you can survive here. Anyway, I hope you like these tips. They're just basic tips and they might help you in some way, so if they do, please leave it in the comments, and I hope to see you on the channel later. Thank you.